Welcome to another episode of the Popko Project Podcast. Today I'm joined by the band Minute After Midnight, and we have Derrick here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Currently in Florida right now. I'm living my so-called best life, so
In
we're
Florida.
vibing, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the what's it what's the temperature down there?
So I have family here. My grandpa's lived here my whole life. So like when I'm not in Nashville, I come to Florida to kind of reset.
Nice. What part of Florida?
Amelia Island, Fernandina Beach,
Okay.
tad bit north of Jacksonville, or right on the Florida Georgia line.
Nice. And what's the weather like down there right now?
It's overcast, bro, but ironically, we went to the pool today and it's rained, but we still enjoyed the pina coladas and made the most of it. So,
Hell yeah. I was in Florida back in middle of April, maybe end of April.
what part?
We were in Orlando. Yeah, we were
Okay.
in Disney.
Hot and humid.
Yeah, well, it was beautiful, man. We were there for I think 7 days, and it did not rain once, which was like surprising
Got it.
because usually it always rains a little bit, you know.
Got it.
But yeah, it was cool. It was a good trip. But
So,
yeah, right now I'm in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It is 61 degrees out. This weather here has been real funky. It
can only
rain
imagine.
it rained literally every day over the weekend for the holiday, except for like the second half of Monday.
It's so funny because, like, when I looked at the weather here, I was like, it's going to rain all week. And I was like, well, damn, I shouldn't go to Florida if it's going to rain all week. But I ended up coming down here and the rain's been in and out. But I mean, I've caught enough sunshine as you can see. Usually a little fried right now, honestly.
Yeah, nice. I could use some sun. I still have a tan line from my trip to Florida back in April, so that's good, I guess.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, not much sun in northeastern Pennsylvania right now, but it's better than it was a week ago because last week it was about 50 degrees and rainy, and it just this weather here is like awful. But
Sorry, bro.
what are you gonna do? We're not here to talk about the weather.
We are here to talk about the weather, ironically. That's the most important thing anybody can talk about. Like, bro, if you're going to meet your soulmate and you're not talking about the weather, what are you talking about?
Yeah, icebreaker, right?
I'm joking.
We can always bitch or enjoy the weather, right? We can bitch about
Yeah,
it or we can enjoy it. So, but
yeah, absolutely.
tell me a little bit about yourself. Derrick Ryan, the mastermind behind Minute After Midnight. Um, Talk to me about, who you are, where you're from, all that kind of background stuff, and we'll get into what's going on today.
Well, bro, I was born in Bristol, Tennessee. I Most of my life I grew up in Knoxville. I went to high school there till my sophomore year, then moved back to Bristol, met some friends, and that's kind of like where I got introduced to music in Knoxville, but we'll get back to that. Went to Bristol, finished out my high school there, went to East Tennessee State, and then ended up moving to Nashville basically after that. Um, I got into music relatively through skateboarding. I was, going to Tyson Skate Park in Knoxville pretty frequently every day, and my one of my skate buddies had a friend that was in a band in Knoxville. They were called In Truth Be Valor. Shout out to them because Loki, they were the first like local band that I fell in love with. Like had that passion for. I was like, yo, I'm going to every show. I don't care. They were great. So I got into like the local music through skateboarding that way, and then once I think for me at first started, I was like, oh, dude, I just want to be in a band. I don't care what it is, and it kind of evolved over the years. I ended up going to like an As LA Dying show at a venue called the Valerium in Knoxville, and I remember just watching them being very transparent with myself and knowing that, yo, this is like what I want to do. And so, maybe I was 14, 15 at that time. Fast forward, I'm 33 now and signed to Fearless Records. So there was a long period in between that, with the formation of Minute After Midnight. But ironically, the inception kind of pulled from the skateboarding scene in Knoxville, which led to hardcore shows. And at those hardcore shows, there was bands like Whitechapel. a different breed of killer back in the day. I think they signed to Rise, but a lot of people know Whitechapel. But I would kind of stand outside with the kids smoking cigarettes for the Whitechapel parts. However, they grew to be, one of metal's biggest bands. So that's like the basic version of my inception.
So you were around 14 when you said you got into music? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was about 14, 15 when I got my first guitar and started going to local hardcore shows. Yes.
Very cool. And you had no influences before that. It was just like that scene, that energy, that vibe.
I will say yes, I loved music. So like sixth grade, I was into Evanescence. I had a picture of Amy Lee in my locker. um, I was in love with her. And then my neighbors, his dad was the tour manager for Fall Out Boy. And their tour, I think it was called the Black Clouds and Underdogs tour. And From First to Last was on that. I'll circle back to that if I remember. But I went and saw them in seventh grade, Fall Out Boy, and I got to meet them because my neighbor's dad was the tour manager, right? So like there's a little bit there, and on that tour it was From First to Last, Hawthorne Heights, the All American Rejects, and Fall Out Boy. So like I got the opportunity to go backstage and meet all Fall Out Boy, and I believe I met the All American Rejects, and I met Hawthorne Heights, and then I met one person from First to Last, and that person, I didn't really meet him. We just passed each other in the hallway. I know it now. He probably didn't realize it, but it was Matt Good. And then Matt Good from First to Last, he's the one that recorded Ghosts and my most recent singles. So it's a really full circle
Oh, that's
moment.
good.
I know I'm talking a lot,
That's
but
good. That's what do you think about the stuff that the All American Rejects are doing right now with these? It's awesome, right?
I mean, I think it's brilliant. I mean, I think yeah, it's what people need. Like, go sell out arena. No, we're going to play house shows and market ourselves 10 times better than anybody else in the world, which is what they
Yeah,
did at the time.
it's
I
been
think with
cool.
that,
I think I actually entered
absolutely.
to be a house party location. Was not picked yet. Was not picked yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't you agree that it was not, maybe it wasn't even marketing for them, but like it was authentic and it created, I mean, I could imagine their monthly
Hmm.
listeners grew significantly on
Yeah,
Spotify,
they're
you
reconnecting
know?
with fans, which
So,
I feel like this day and age, it's so important, and it's almost like a lost art to be like that.
yeah, especially those legacy acts. It's like when they reconnect with you at a human level, it transcends anything that label marketing or
Yeah,
any of that could do,
it's a
in my
different world out
opinion.
there right now with as far as how you distribute your music and how you connect to new fans, and it's just a different world. Yeah.
It really is, man.
So I mean, you
Absolutely.
met some pretty cool acts at a very young age. That's pretty neat.
I did. I really did. I was really blessed to have experienced them. And I would like to say, it was kind of like a little bit of the background fuel that kept me going when I wanted to quit. I was like, why was I here? Has all this happened? Like,
Are you doing music full time right
so
now?
I yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That's
I
awesome.
completely
What's that
live off
like?
my music. So it's like being retired at 33, honestly. Like that's like how I explain it. So since I haven't done any extensive touring, I'm a new act. I was talking about this in the other interview earlier, but like as a new act, if you get a Wage War, Pierce the Veil tour, every booking agent is pitching their bands toward that. So they want the bands that are going to sell the most tickets and, are going to, draw. So as a new act, I haven't spent much time on the road in the sense it's just because we're new. We don't have tour experience. However, when that happens, I think people begin to resonate and
Yeah.
it'll be a lot easier to get tours. So I just don't think fans know that. So like when you're a new upcoming act, basically you get a booking agent, so I'm with a company called IAG. They represent, major artists like Spirit Box and Sleep Token, depending. They're all different agents there. I don't work with the agent that directly works with them, but it's the same company. But when a big tour comes along, all the booking agents will throw their bands at that tour, and you know, I would say, I mean, are you going to pick Sleep Theory to come out on tour with you or Minute After Midnight? And our like for these agents, they're probably going to pick Sleep Theory because they know that they can draw tickets. So right now we're looking for a position where we can stick, and if that makes any sense. I don't think a lot of people I didn't understand that going into this. So I just want to explain for the fans like what that's like. And because people are like, dude, come to Bristol, come to Pennsylvania, come to Texas, come to Charleston. I'm like, I want to, but it's not in my control. I can't book a tour myself and do that alone. So that's what I'm waiting on, is to find a meaningful act that makes sense with Minute After Midnight and the
And
music
where does that
moving
name come from?
forward. So, oh man, so the Minute After Midnight came to me naturally, in a unhinged way. It means a lot to, like, I don't know, like, it's going to be hard for me to articulate right now, but the name kind of came randomly. I've told this story many times, but when I got the name, I was with a friend. He's a producer friend that I work with now. He's doing really great. He's worked with Louis Capaldi, John Legend, and we came up together out of Bristol. Shout out Audio Oasis. That's my boy Matt Smile. But when I came up with the name, we were joking about some band, and I was like, well, why wouldn't you call your band like A Minute After Midnight or Minute After Midnight, And then at that point, something clicked with him, and he was like, dude, that's too good. That's already a band name. And I was like, bro, no, it's not. And he was like, I bet you $10,000 it is. And low key, this man was good for it. So before I shook his hand, I knew in my head I would always owe him $10,000, and I knew he could give it to me right then. But I didn't shake his hand because it resonated with me so much. And I looked at the handles. Lo and behold, I lost out on 10 grand, but I, got the best band name in the world, in my
Good
opinion.
thing you didn't shake that hand.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
no, I
I'm
wish
sorry.
I
I'm
would
sorry.
have, because I'd have won 10 grand because it wasn't a band name. Yeah, I
What
should have shook his
what
hand
was he
because I would have
thinking?
been up $10,000. Well, he was thinking there's no way you just came up with that. And I was like, no, I really did. And he was like, bro, that's already a band name. And I was like, no, bro, it's not.
Was
I
that a
literally just came up with it.
was that a Linkin Park
He's like, bet.
album title?
It
Minutes.
wasn't a reference to Minutes Till Midnight, and I know a lot of people think that. However, I didn't even know of the album at the time. Minute After
Yeah.
Midnight came from a completely different thing. What it means to me now compared to what it meant then is it was a joke when it happened, but coming forth, I guess that was 2015, 10 years later, it means I'm finding out more and more
Hmm.
what Minute After Midnight means.
Well, what does it mean?
So
What does it mean to you now?
to me, minute after minute, it's like survival. Like 12:01 is the final minute of the day. So you survive all of that. And then when you make it to the next minute, it's like the impossible. It's the beginning of the end. It's the end. I to really like articulate it, I would need probably a little more time. And I'm still also figuring out what it means to me now. But for me, like getting to 12 a.m. is survival. The minute
Okay.
after is the
That's
impossible.
deep.
That makes sense. So it's very deep. It goes, like I picture 12:01 in the future being an angel number, and people, connecting it to the lore of the band and, my journey and, the
Yeah.
legacy. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see
Yeah.
5 years, 5 to 10 years from now,
Yeah.
what
It might mean
12:01
something
will
completely
mean
different.
to
That's
you
cool.
then.
Is this where
Yeah.
you thought you'd be at this moment in your life?
No, bro, I thought I'd be here at 23. I thought it would happen 10 years ago. And that's like, kind of the irony of where I am now. I'm more mature and grounded with who I am as a human, and I'm able to officially like navigate the music industry with a level head. Versus if all this would have happened at 23, I would have ruined it. Not to say I won't fuck it up now, but hey, I mean that's pretty much the gist of it. did I expect to be here? Like in my heart of hearts, yes. Did I think it was going to happen? No. Um, so, uh, but did I expect to be here in Florida, like where I am talking to you? You know, we're signed to Fearless Records. Like we have all this music
Yeah.
coming out. Absolutely not, dude. It is truly a
And
dream come
Fearless is a
true.
new
And
thing, right?
yeah, yeah, we
Okay.
signed to Fearless back in March of
And that's
last
is
year.
that kind of when Ghost kind of took off?
No, Ghost
Right.
popped off kind of in 2023. It kind of, I knew algorithmically, like when I would look at the artist app of Ghost, that it was like performing higher than the other songs. I just didn't know that it was going to
Hmm.
be the catalyst for my career at the time. And then after that, we caught momentum with Ghost. I had contact with just about every label you'd want to work with in this genre. And for me, growing up, chasing it my whole life, like it was the pinnacle
Yeah.
of like a dream
Yeah.
come
I mean, right now
true,
I think
you
you're
know?
sitting over 11 million streams on Spotify for that track.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it just crossed 11 million today, which was,
Yeah.
it's crazy,
What
dude.
uh what goes into that, do you think? I mean, obviously it's a great song. It's my favorite of yours.
Yeah.
But I mean, what goes
Thanks, man.
into, having the success to reach that level of streams and kind of following up with that song?
I don't think I've like even created the follow-up that people are looking for yet. I've just been doing what I want to do, and ultimately that's I don't know what listeners want. I know what I want, so like I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm not saying that I'm not keeping Ghost in mind in future records, and that I don't have new music that represent what Ghost was. That was good. Tell me the first part of that question
No,
so
just
I can finish
talking
this.
about
I lost my
Ghosts.
train of thought.
How did you kind of how did that song become so successful?
Oh, well, okay, yeah. Well, I would say the falsetto note on the first line of the hook helps a lot for musicians out there. I think that helped me a lot, but it was just the consistency of posting on TikTok and having something people could resonate with that made them feel something, but then staying consistent on the marketing aspect of it as an independent artist, posting different videos of that, finding a video that worked. And when that video did work, I posted that same video over and over again. So like there was this video of me in the rain where like, you know, I'm singing the hook of Ghosts, but like I would post it sometimes and it would do 500,000 views, it'd do 10,000, 20, 30, 40,000. So I just kept posting it, throughout the course of years. There's a few videos I had that performed really solid. So until now, you can't do the same method because the AI recognizes when it's the same video. But before then, I
Mhm.
utilized the aspect that this had virality and reposted Ghost easily. I would say
Oh wow,
300 to 1,000 times. I genuinely, I mean, if you go to TikTok, I would say 1,000 of the videos are
that's
from
a
me.
lot. It worked.
Yeah, dude, it did, but it wasn't easy.
That's another thing,
I'm
like,
stressed out thinking about it.
this whole music industry, and having to utilize those social media platforms and use them effectively too. It's a full-time job. Yeah, I don't.
Absolutely. More than that, it's always, like even when I'm not focusing on content and stuff, like melodies are constantly going in my head, songs never leave. Like it's just it's more than 24/7. It's
Yeah.
eternal, it's always like my mind never gets rest
Does
unless
that
I'm
give you
actually
any
asleep,
kind of anxiety?
Yeah, bro. I'm emo. What do you mean? I play an emo band, bro. I'm the saddest, happiest
Is that what you would
motherfucker you'll
call it?
ever
Because I mean,
meet.
like
So
I heard references like metalcore, um, but I hear like um, early 2000s alternative rock. I mean, I guess metalcore kind of falls into that, but um, there's punk in there too, in my opinion. What would you describe yourself as?
bro, if Warped
Okay,
Tour was a
that makes
genre,
sense.
that's
That makes
me.
sense.
You know, really, I mean, I was going to Warped Tour as a child. Like I was catching multiple dates every summer, every date that I could, going to see all the bands. Like Mayday Parade, Forever the Sickest Kids. Like, I mean, I literally grew up in that era, and then I don't know. Like I said, if Warped Tour was a genre, that's what Minute After Midnight is. Like there's no. I didn't need a box to confine me into like pop punk or like emo. It was just like I felt like the music was diverse enough for me to say, hey, I can scream on this track if I want to, or I can write an acoustic song that has no screaming and it's just gives you, if it means
Mhm.
a lot to you, vibes
I was
by a
gonna
day to
say
remember.
I
Like,
hear a
so
lot, not I shouldn't say a lot, but A Day to Remember is a band that I heard a lot of in some of your songs.
I think for those who have heart is one of those like constructing albums for me. I had the CD, it was in my dashboard, so it did shape me. And then obviously like I paid a lot of
Hmm.
attention to Homesick. And to me, A Day to Remember was I just actually had their record. So it was especially one that I listened to a lot. And I think now looking back and hearing like what was it? Said I never
Hmm.
let you go, but I never
I'm
did.
terrible with
What's that
song
song?
names.
I just if you didn't have a chance, then I never did. You always find me right here again. Said I never let you go. Oh my God. We're going to get canceled because we don't know the lyrics to that song. Everybody that's going to watch this is going to be like, bro, it's not if it means, said I
Trying to
never
think.
let you go, and I
Uh,
never did.
right back at it, right
Bro,
back
we're
at it
tripping
again.
right now.
I don't know. I'm a terrible with song names, and they have some
Yeah.
obscure song names too, so it makes it even harder. But they
They
released.
do. But
That's all right.
we're going to get some hate for this one because I know the name of that song. I'm just
They
sitting on it
released a
right
new
now.
album was like 3 or 4 years ago, and they got shit on a lot, um, which I don't understand.
I stopped after Homesick, bro, and I'm shamefully say that because it's like if you gotta stop listening to me after my first album, I understand. But yeah, love A Day to Remember,
Yeah,
respect them. They are kings of the genre.
no,
But I didn't listen much after Homesick.
I say I'm a fan, but I don't know the track name, so how big of a fan am I guess? But they put out a record, like I said, 3 or 4 years ago. They got shit on a lot. They were like they're like core fans were so upset by this new, I don't want to say direction, but like I was just always like, how can you expect an artist to continue just pumping out the same thing over and over again? Like, how can you be upset that they are taking risks or, not even going in a different direction, but just going like, you know, trying something new? Yeah, you have
Well,
to.
we're all evolving, like as humans and like as people. And like I saw this interview, it was like with Kellen Quinn, and he was like, they were asking, was there going to be a King for a Day part two? And it's like Kellen was like, no, lightning doesn't strike twice, in the same place. And I think the expectation of building a song as big as King for a Day really it creates an immense amount of pressure, for an artist. Like for me, like just with Ghost, I mean, Ghost has 11 million plays.
Hmm.
King for a Day probably has hundreds of millions, So the pressure put on a single human being to create something that hundreds of millions of people listen to, that's like, it's,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Like, we're blessed enough to have several songs that do that, but like, we are not
Hmm.
we're humans still. We're not gods among
Yeah.
men. Like we're just human. So not to say that they couldn't write another banger, but it's like I think the reason they don't is because the pressure of creating a song like King for a Day, which shaped the culture and the scene, it's too much to ask of
Yeah.
anybody. It's too much. It's too
Well, let's
much.
talk about some of your music. I feel like, from a foundation wise, I feel like it's all consistent, but a lot of songs, each one kind of has its own different thing to it. Like Come Alive has a little bit of a dance vibe to it. Um,
Yeah, it definitely does. That is the left field song of them
good
all
song.
for me, for
Uh,
sure.
Ride With You has this,
Thank you.
put the windows down on a nice summer day. And I think one of the lyrics is even, roll the windows down in that one, Um,
Yeah,
obviously Ghost, has that rock
absolutely.
music to it, but like vocally, like it's beautiful, but still has that like grittiness to it vocally as well. Like it starts off like really beautiful, and then it kind of gets into it. And then your newest release, Unleash the Beast, I think is the hardest song that you've produced yet, right? Um,
For sure.
so talk about your
Yeah,
music and
absolutely.
creating it, writing it. Like, is this all intentional to create these different vibes? I guess you can call it.
No, it's not intentional necessarily. Like it's really just the day of. It's like what keeps me inspired in front of the computer and writing. And then at that the day, Unleash the Beast was that. Um, it's the first time I ever screamed on any track. And I had tried tracking screaming was the demo process for that song. So like I allow the songs to write themselves, whether it starts from a melody, that I come up with and at a bar downtown Nashville, or if it's a guitar riff that I sit there with the room. Like I just move off whatever inspires me. And if it's creating enough dopamine in my mind to keep me going, I assume
Yeah,
that it'll keep the listener engaged.
that makes sense.
It's true.
I'm glad to hear it's not
It's
like
the truth.
intentional. It's like I imagine if you tried to sit down and force something, it would be more difficult than just letting it kind of happen as it organically.
Yeah, and I mean you can do
Yeah,
that, and I mean you can write songs that way, but they'll come out. You'll come out at the end of it being like, do I love this? Or do I
yeah,
like this? Or do I even like it? Or maybe you do. I'm not saying that you can't write a number one hit that way, but I try to just be an antenna to what's coming in. And if that's the vibe, I'm like, and I'm asking the universe or God, whatever it is, like, why this? And it's like, because this is what it is. And this is where we're at right now. And the process for Unleash the Beast in particular was very like, it sucked me in pretty hard, and I found a lot of joy in making the demo. So signing with Fearless at the same time and having the demo is like, if you guys will give me the green light on this, I have a
yeah.
feeling I can make something out of it. So, and they trusted me enough to say, not write another Ghost, but to write Unleash the Beast. Maybe someday people will be like, well, can you write another Unleash the Beast? Maybe. But it's
Yeah.
for me, dude, it's just day to day.
And what has signing to Fearless? What has that meant to you, and what has that done for you?
My is my literal childhood dream. Like I think back in the day, it was like Rise Records, Fearless, Hopeless. All the labels like, and then playing in post-hardcore bands in the genre, trying to get noticed, and to be here now is a pinch yourself kind of moment, but also you get here and you think that you're going to just be healed and fulfilled and like everything is all figured out now. Like I made it, but actually, like everything still just feels the same. It just feels like there's more responsibility to make good music and to market these records. But it's an honor and the most humbling experience of my life and a dream come true. But at the same time, I didn't wake up the next day after I signed the contract and be like, okay, I made it. I didn't feel any different. I still felt the emptiness and I don't know, the lack of
Hmm.
clarity that life gives us. So it it kept me real, but still, I recognize that it is a once in a lifetime
Yeah, I feel like
opportunity.
it's
If that makes
it
any
might just
sense.
be the start of what's to come.
Right?
Yeah,
And you get a chance to. That's all that I get is a chance to start. I think like a lot of artists, there. Well, no, not a lot of our artists get deals, but like once you get a deal, you maybe have like a 1 in 20 chance of like really getting famous, and like I just get an opportunity to start, and I couldn't be more grateful for that and the team over at Fearless for believing in me and allowing me to, artistically drive the project forward because I mean, they're still letting me lead the way, which ironically I didn't think at first would happen, but that's been the case. And I think they trust the vision that I have. And I think as an artist, if you're looking for a label, look for that as somebody that believes in what you want. And it's like, we're guiding this
Hmm.
together, but they're letting me lead the way. They're not taking control like a lot of people
Yeah, I
would
think
think.
record labels in the past have.
Yet, if I don't sell any records, they might change
I
it
feel
up.
like
But
back in the
hey, we'll
day,
see.
a whole label thing was kind of like it was like almost like predatory. I think that's obviously changed. Yeah.
Well, they had the
Yep.
keys back then.
Yeah.
They don't anymore. It's social media. Like back then, it's like an A&R goes out, sees you at a show, they bring you on, they put you on radio, and then bam, you're famous. Now it's like they can do that. Sometimes it works, but really, like you need to go viral on TikTok, and a label can't
Yeah.
dictate that. An algorithm does.
Yeah.
So
You have almost like your own little business. Like it's like it's yours. Yeah.
yeah, oh, it is. It is a business. I mean,
Yeah.
especially when it starts paying the rent. Like there's there's so many aspects I think that people disregard being an artist because it's like, oh, I just want to be a singer. Well, you want to be a singer? Well, guess what? You got to be an athlete. You got to eat the correct things. You've got to warm your voice up, before you walk out and have a normal day if like you want to be up to par. So it's like it's so misunderstood how 24 hours like being a singer is, and I'm also finding out more and more and more how demanding it is to be able to maintain, but
What
it's
kind of
like
things do
being
you
an
do to
athlete.
maintain?
I obviously weightlifting has been my go-to sauna training. I hate fucking running. I hate it. I hate cardio. Um, However, I've been doing the stair stepper more to get involved, and my new method of transportation is going into the bathroom, turning on the shower as hot as it'll go, getting the steam, and then just getting my acoustic and singing. And then like 3 songs in, I'm pouring sweat. And I just recently discovered that. So singers like use that because it's the equivalent of being in a steam room singing and you don't have to get your guitar
That's
wet.
important. Yeah, people forget like, you don't just get on stage and sing. It's being physically fit and be able to perform and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot goes into it.
Absolutely. There's also an art form of singing by myself in front of a mirror, but it takes practice to sing in front of a crowd of people because like you singing in your shower, you're gonna let go, But if I'm like, so sing me this song, you're not gonna be able to let go in front of me. So it's a talent in itself to be able to or a form of art, in my opinion, to be able to
Yeah.
perform in front of people too. So
So what's in store for you for 2026 moving forward?
new music, well, for sure, new visuals. There will be some announcements coming soon. I'm not going to give them
Sure.
away just because we aren't there yet. However, we're with a new agency, so we're working on getting a tour that is worthwhile. However, there's definitely new music on the way, and it's just a matter of time till everybody
What would getting
kind of
that tour
catches
mean to
on.
you? Like what would that do for you?
So business wise versus like artist wise, like business wise, it's a new form of income on top of like what I'm like generating from my back catalog, which I still own a good portion of, which is very
Yeah.
admirable of Fearless for them to be like, hey, we're gonna sign you, but we don't
Hmm.
want any of your back catalog. So Ghost, I own 100% of that, and it pays my rent every month,
That's amazing.
legitimately. No exaggeration. It really is, dude. It's a blessing. But moving forward, there is a lot of music coming, man. And it to get the first tour I don't know. I feel like I'll be excited to get it, but after it's done, just to have that, just to like, I don't know, just like look at 14-year-old me and be like, bro, this is you now. Like, you're going home to your apartment. You just did, a 30-day tour. You made money on the tour. Like you changed lives on that. You met a lot of people. Like, it's everything to me. And I don't know. I mean, it is a form. I don't care if it's 200 people and I are at 2,000.
Yeah.
It's more than
And I
everything
imagine
I
that would
ever
be,
wanted, bro.
increase fan engagement and just obviously help you grow too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I hope that
100%.
happens. It's gonna happen. You're
No
right. It's
hoping,
gonna
bro.
happen.
It's
There's
gonna happen. Yeah, we don't hope here. We manifest. We don't
okay.
attract, or no, we don't chase. We attract, bro. So I'm all about manifestation. It's part of the lore with Minute After Midnight. Like, it's a little witchy and magical, like, but manifestation's a real thing. And like for people out there, like there might be like one person out there listening to this. It's like has this dream, and it's like all of a sudden they get chills like up their
Mhm.
spine because they know that I'm talking to them. They're like, and it's like take that feeling and run with it because the universe, God, whatever it is that you look for is trying to meet you there in the same place. But
Right.
you've got to become that person. And you can't lie to yourself. I can't lie to me and act like I'm Mariah Carey, but if I start singing every day and I get good enough, it's like, oh, well, like you just can't lie to yourself. And if you do the things that proves yourself wrong, like that's how you become the
I like
version
that.
of yourself you want to
I
be, I
like that.
guess, is what I'm
Are
trying to
you a
say.
spiritual person?
Yes, I am a spiritual being living a temporary human experience.
That's the truth. That's the
It's the ultimate truth, but
yeah.
like, not everybody's
It
ready for
kind of caught
that.
me off guard there for a second.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's true, man. We're all riding, bro. I believe in the truth of all things that we're all one, like, bro. Like, I think we're just shards of the universe reflecting back pieces of ourselves, and that's why I have so much love for humanity in the world around me is because I see them as parts of myself and not in the sense of a like a messiah way or like that I am. I just feel just so connected to the world itself, and I think we're all
Is that
connected in that
hard in this
sense.
day and
So
age, especially with the internet and the 24-hour news cycle and all that kind of stuff where you kind of feel like everything that's delivered to you is doom and gloom? Is that hard to maintain that outlook?
ironically, it makes it easier because it's so obvious what it is. Like it's just doom and gloom. It's just programming. Like our television shows are called programming. Like it's very clear we spell words and we write in cursive. It's all magic, and that's what this world is. I think it's ethereal, and like I think that the systems above have kind of inverted the magic that we all believe in and demonized it. Whereas, like, you can apply that magic and manifestation to create your own world. And I don't know, man. I don't want to take you down the
I know where you're
rabbit
going.
hole, but I literally live. I live at the bottom of the rabbit hole along with the Hat Man, and you guys will figure out about the Hat Man later.
Okay.
It's relevant to the band, so
I
I'll
like
say it
that.
now.
What do you do for fun?
I skate, bro. I like to go to the beach and skimboard, snowboard, and go to the gym. That's about it. Sit by the pool, have drinks with friends,
Country music
write
too, huh?
country music. Um, I love writing country, bro. I love country music.
Is there going to be
It's just a good time.
a spin-off of this band and a country act?
3 albums from now, ask me then.
Country's good.
Yeah,
I enjoy country too. Yeah, not the
absolutely, bro.
not the like the pop country, so to speak, but like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's a good time. It's a good time.
I
at the same
understand.
time. Well, man, like I said before when we started, I didn't want to keep it too long. I know you're hanging out in Florida and probably want to get back to hanging out with friends and having some drinks. But I love your music. Like I said before, I like how every song kind of has its own different vibe, but also has the same kind of foundation. Um, Ghost, obviously, I'm in the majority of people who love that song too, right? But I mean, it sounds like you have
Yeah.
a bright future ahead of you.
Only time will tell. And bro, let me say it like this, bro. I love you and I love the
All right, man.
fans
We'll
and
get
I'm
back to
grateful
enjoying
for your
yourself.
time, brother.
Thank you again for spending a little bit of your time with me tonight. And are you a Braves fan? I'm a Red
Oh yeah.
Sox fan. They just got
Oh
their
yeah.
asses beat bad by the Braves, but they
Yeah.
suck this year. The Red Sox, so it's
Yeah.
like whatever. But
Championship, baby.
yeah,
World
that'd be
Series, bro.
great.
We'll
I was a
see you
huge
there.
Braves fan when I was younger. I was a huge like Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine fan, and all that kind of shit. But yeah, but yes, thank you again. You're just great. Best of luck with everything. Looking forward to more new music, and I look forward to seeing you get that tour. All right, buddy. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
man. We'll see you soon, bro, for sure.
See ya.
Pleasure.